Hello and welcome to MFAT Coaching. If this is your first time on my channel, I am so glad you're here. And if you are returning, thank you so much. What I'm going to do today is walk through my January Silk and Sonder, essentially from front to back, and talk about how it got to be the way it is. So if you are interested in that, I encourage you to stick around. So this is my January Silk and Sonder. My word of the year is try. The word of the month is ambition. That's set by the company. This time they had a little yearly reflection for us to look back at what the year was like. There's the whole year laid out. Here's a monthly view and what's upcoming. These are my reflections for December, and then my January intentions. They provide the categories of spiritual health, personal life, physical health, key relationships, money management, and professional goals. Here is the mood tracker. All the days are filled out except for tomorrow. I tried to make it look like a snowflake, so that's kind of what you're seeing there. Most of what I felt was in the blue category. Those are the joyful, powerful, peaceful. So just by looking at it, I can just see that. But there were a few times where I was definitely in the scared category, which has to do with my anxiety. And a few times I was sad or just bored. But that fell into the sad category. My habits for January were to track my weight, to work out every day, to message my friends and family, to floss, to listen to music, to do my gratitude journaling, and to wear mascara and jewelry. So you can kind of see which ones I did really well and which ones I missed out on. So I did a very good job of messaging my friends and family. Did a pretty good job of working out. There were just one time where I forgot to floss. Listening to music was also very consistent for me, but that I literally do it because I get to fill this box out. So that's going to definitely stay for the next month. Journaling, you can see I missed it a few times, so I want to work on that still. And then mascara and jewelry is another one. That's the one I probably had the hardest time with. So that will definitely stay on here for the next month. Then this is my actual workout plan. So you can see which ones I did, which ones I didn't do are the ones. The 5s are how hard they were. So I actually didn't work out yesterday. But I worked out today, and I hope to work out tomorrow. And then that will still be 5 times a week. So we'll see, fingers crossed. Here's my dream log. I either wrote down what I dreamt about the night before, or what I am dreaming about in terms of my dreams for life. Here's my wheel of life, so how I feel I'm doing in each of these areas. I do it at the beginning of the month, and then I see how I did at the end of the month, and then I can also compare this to, I think, 3 or 4 months ago when it was in there. Some of those relationships or some of these categories appear slightly different. This was they had us dream about our life, and so I wrote in all of the prompts. These are my media trackers. So I created this snowflake, and each time I did my YouTube or my Instagram or my Facebook posts for my MFAT coaching, I got to fill in a box. So you can see the ones that I missed. Haven't put that in today, we'll see. And then this is for work, actually for my job. We have a social media, and I did miss that a few times this month. But it's just a quick visual representation, so I really enjoy that. Here's my coloring that I've done part of. We created what they call an ambition acrostic. So acrostic is like each of the beginning letters there that spells out the word ambition would be a word or a phrase. They also guided you through a reason for being, and you could check that out. I didn't do, although I did intend to do the monthly expense tracker for any additional expenses that I had, like the things that I bought just for myself, but I am not very good at doing that. I've got to work on that for next month. Eventually one of these months I may have to put monthly expense tracker like on one of the places, we'll see. Because most of this week was in fact in December. You'll see I used this part was in my December. But I love that they have it for you in both. And this is where January started. I'm working on a podcast potentially with a friend, and these are our notes before I went ahead and put those in an electronic format. And then here was week 2 of the year, the first full week of January, and how I decorated that and my goals here. Now these are habit or activities, so some of these you can see you get to say like how many days each week you're hoping to do them. I try to think about some things that I'm trying to work on to decrease my behaviors as well as ones I'm trying to increase. So instead of always thinking about, there's 7 habits here, I don't want to be thinking about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 each week. So instead, some of these I try and do as zeros. So I'm trying not to have negative or insecure thoughts. And so that's the 0. And it so happened that week I did a very nice job with that. If I had them, I was able to tackle them in a way that I felt healthy with. Then there's my decorations for the first week, and you can see how I use my to-do list, my schedule, and sometimes the notes section is very full and sometimes it is fairly empty. This was my currently page, which if you didn't see me fill out, I can actually try and link a video to that here, see if I can do that. But you can actually see how I filled this out. And this was the second full week in January. I love this theme. It was so happy. This is all washi in different varieties. And again, you can see this week I tried some of the things you'll find are the same, but a few of them I was like, okay, wow, I'm actually not anticipating doing everything all 7 days a week, so just 5. And then you can put over here what you actually did. So here's where I usually plan my evenings. This week I was trying to finish up a book, and so that was pretty much it. That was my plan. Then there's a shopping list. And then here in this section, it actually says food memory song. And at the end of each week, I go back and say which one I thought was like the best food I'd eaten for the week, what was my best memory of that week, and then if there was a particular song that was standing out. This week it was just classical music. And then here's the spread. The weekly spreads always match what I'm working on for that week. And these are all Happy Planner stickers here at the top. And then here's some notes pages that I ended up not using. Here was the third full week. I went with some trees, and my goal was to feel motivated to actual action this week. This is where I put the books that I'm reading, because I'm always reading 6 or 7 right now. Usually 5 or 6 with a group, with different groups, and then 1 for myself, 1 or 2. You can see here there were still some that I was hoping to do specific days. This is actually where I do my meals. I just plan my essentially protein. My husband and I are doing what do we call that? Oh, Meatless Mondays. And so on that day, it's going to be vegetables, but will be the focus instead of my protein. But I always like to break down, this is the list of proteins that I have in the house, so I can then decide on menus from there. And these are the different projects that I'm working on. You'll see one of them is my 2021 goals. One of my goals for 2021 is to have dance sessions throughout the week as a way of having some energy in the middle of the day. And so that's where I wrote that down. That section can change. And then around the house is another section I tend to have a lot to remind myself to do some cleaning of different areas. Then here's the decoration at the top again. This one says live more, worry less here at the top. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. And you can see my schedule is a little busier with things that are specifically, that have timed items. I used the notes a little bit more this week. Some more note sections that I didn't use. And then here's the week we're in now. I just went with these greens and blues that were pretty. It was supposed to rain, and it did, so I went with some raindrops here. And there's some fewer books because I've caught up in some things. And again, you can see how like this one, I was trying not to be cranky and short-tempered this week. And you can see this week I'm not doing as well on certain things, and that is okay. And then here's the final page with the same washi at the top. And again, my to-do list. And if it's circled, it means it didn't get done that day. And the goal is, of course, to do it a little bit later. And that is the fall Silk and Sonder. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this and kind of look at it and think about some things and move into the February, which will start next week. If you want to see what this February is going to look like, I'm going to do that in my next video, so stay tuned for that tomorrow. Thank you for stopping by. If you have a set of habits that you are tracking, I would love to hear more about them. So let me know what you guys are tracking and thinking about these days. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. Bye.